After a knockout loss to Joe Pyfer at UFC Seattle, Israel Adesanya's losing streak has now increased to 4. We must ask the big question. Is this the end? It's your boy, we fight all night, and I am back with another episode of the MMA and boxing show. And today we will be highlighting UFC middleweight legend Israel Adesanya. Now, we're talking about Israel Adesanya, a dominant champion, an elite striker, and one of the most feared fighters of his era. But right now, he is at the lowest point of his career. So at UFC Seattle, Israel Adesanya faced a rising contender by the name of Joe Pyfer with serious one-punch knockout power.
Eddie, this shit pisses me off. I hit the machine, the same machine, and I hit it with a 16-ounce glove. For all these nerds out there that don't understand science, I hit it with a 16-ounce glove. That means I didn't even get to hit it as hard as I could because I had a big pad. So I broke the record with a big glove. I broke it 4 or 5 times. I broke it in front of the operations guy. There was a heavyweight from Brazil that was hitting it. Couldn't even come close to it. His coach hit it. Couldn't come close to it. Brendan Allen's coach, Tuco, hit it. Didn't come close to it. And they didn't want to give it to me officially. I don't know why.
Now, I do believe Israel Adesanya was winning the fight. He might have even been up on a judge's scorecard at that point. In my opinion, he was actually winning the fight up until the fight ended in the second round. But he got caught, he got dropped, and he got finished. And now that's another KO loss. And the narrative just begins to get louder and louder. But this isn't just the first time Adesanya has tasted defeat in recent years. Let's get into some of his recent losses. So most recently, Adesanya has taken a loss to Nasruddin Imavov, who actually gave him the dual threat of being able to stand with him on the feet as a definitely a credible threat on the feet, but an even more serious threat on the ground. There was also a loss to former champion Dricus du Plessis, who just seemed to put a pace and pressure on Israel Adesanya that he just couldn't keep up with. It was a very physical and tough fight, and Adesanya also seemed to struggle in the grappling areas. And the loss that started the run, which in my opinion, this is only my opinion, I do think this is the loss that sparked the confidence to be taken away from Israel Adesanya. And I am talking about the loss to Sean Strickland, where it's one of the biggest upsets in recent history in the UFC. But yeah, Sean Strickland also put a pace on Israel Adesanya that he just could not keep up with. Israel was not able to figure out the style of Sean Strickland. It's very awkward. It's very high output, and it is forward pressure constantly. And with a gas tank like Sean Strickland's, I feel anybody is going to struggle unless you have something to neutralize that forward movement, which Israel Adesanya was unable to do in that fight. And then that brings us to Joe Pyfer, a young, rising up-and-comer. He was actually ranked number 14 at the time of the fight with Israel Adesanya. Joe Pyfer is a black belt in BJJ, but he also has serious one-punch knockout power. And that's just the scary part. It's not just one style that Adesanya has been losing to as of late. He's almost basically he lost to four completely different styles, which it starts to make us raise some eyebrows. It makes me think, is it time for the Stylebender to call it a night? Now, Israel Adesanya will always be one of my all-time favorite fighters, but I would be lying to myself right now if I said that he didn't look like he was declining. As of late, he just hasn't been as sharp as he's been in the past. His reaction time just hasn't been the same as we all remember the Stylebender to be. And it also seems like fighters are no longer gun shy or hesitant when standing in front of Adesanya, which he seemed to cause a lot of fighters to do in the previous years, especially during his title run. It just seems as if the aura is gone at this point. We've been seeing a lot less emotes. I don't want to say the emotes are the reason for, but we've been seeing a lot less emotes. It just seems like Israel is having a lot less fun in the ring, and I just want to, me personally, I just want to see Israel get back to Israel and have some fun in the ring. So after Israel Adesanya's loss to Joe Pyfer, he had a quick interview in the ring with Daniel Cormier. Let's get right to that.
Izzy, you are one of the greatest champions this organization has ever seen. How do you move forward after a fight like this? After another great one?
You keep going again and again and again and again and again. I'm not leaving. You'll never stop me. I might get beaten, but I'll always remain undefeated. Jamie Vanderkill.
We've seen a run like this happen before to another one of our legends in Anderson Silva. I really don't want to see Israel Adesanya go out like that. And I don't believe that this is the end of Israel Adesanya. I do not want the people to forget who this guy is. We have seen him come back before. Don't forget the Alex Pereira fight. We have seen Israel Adesanya overcome a giant, and I believe he can do it again. I don't know what changes that need to be made maybe in his camp, maybe preparation wise. I don't know the changes that need to be made for Izzy, but I am not ready to write the Stylebender off just yet. Not whatsoever. So that brings us to our next question. If Israel Adesanya, out of his own mouth, the man said he is not going anywhere and he will continue to fight. So that brings us to our next question. What is next for the Stylebender, Israel Adesanya? Now, in my eyes, I would say trying to put yourself in contention for the title at this very point in your career with the nature of the losing streak is maybe out of the realm of possibilities right now. Let's string a win or two together and then maybe we could talk about that. But at this very moment, I would be looking for Israel Adesanya to have some fun fights. Just go out there and have some really fun matchups that the people want to see. It doesn't have to be, all of these high-tier wrestlers that's going to take you down and neutralize your striking. How about we go out there and fight MVP? How about we go out there and do a rematch with Paulo Costa? How about we drop to 170 pounds and square off in the O2 Arena against Leon Edwards? Or how about we we do a hometown event in New Zealand and invite Colby Covington to main event against you at 170 pounds. So one thing about Israel Adesanya's frame, yes, he did fight at 205 pounds. Currently, he competes at 185 pounds, but he doesn't have the biggest frame. So even when he did compete at 205 pounds, it almost looked like he was holding a lot of unnecessary weight. I know he does sort of look weight drained at weigh-ins for 185 from time to time, but hey, maybe a diet change and a lifestyle change could put him right down into 170 pounds. And hey, we can have a revamped Stylebender. Who knows? I've honestly always wanted to see Israel Adesanya compete at 170 pounds, and Leon Edwards, Michael Venom Page, Colby Covington. We got Paulo Costa. I know he's at 205. Maybe he can come back down to 185. Maybe Israel Adesanya can meet him up at 205. We have got some fun fights left. Israel Adesanya is 100% a certified legend and a first ballot Hall of Famer. But legends do not last forever. So tell me, is this the end of the Stylebender? Or does he have one final run in the UFC? And that'll do it. It's been another episode of the MMA and Boxing Show, and please show your support for the channel by dropping a like, dropping a comment. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the hype button, turn on notifications so you know when we drop a video each and every time. But for now, it's your boy. We fight all night, and I'm out.